I'm going to be talking about the Pfaff Admire 1000. This is your starter mechanical serger. And this is a great starting point if you're new to sergers or you're a little bit scared. This is a great place to start because they do make it very, very easy. So this is a 4-thread overlock, so it will do a 2-thread, 3-thread, and a 4-thread. So a 2-thread, for instance, would be like a rolled hem where you think along the lines of napkin edges, heirloom sewing, anything where you just want that little rolled edge to be. And then the 4-thread is for like construction or piecing if you're going to piece a quilt, etc. And everywhere in between. There's flat lock stitches which are designed for heavy fabrics. So instead of having a big seam like you would have on, take fleece for instance. Instead of having a big seam, a flat lock is going to fold more flat so that it can reduce some of that bulk. And that you'll find in the 3-thread. So there's different stitches for 2-thread, 3-thread, and 4-thread that do a variety of different things. But let's take a quick look on threading and why I say for a basic starter serger, this is easy to thread. Because one, you can open it this way, but you can also, there's a little lever here and you can open it all the way up. Everything is color-coded with including a diagram exactly where everything needs to go. And once you've done this a few times, it really is like threading a sewing machine. So it's just getting used to the color paths, and then once you do that, it's just like threading a machine. Okay, so let me close this back up. There are some features on a serger that are a necessity in my opinion, and that is, for instance, dual feed. This has dual feed, and what dual feed is on a sewing machine, you may see all these different feed teeth, but they are attached to one plate. And so whenever you change your stitch length, it's acting as a one plate. But with a serger, we have dual feed, so there's two. So we can set one stays the same, and one we can change, which is vital if you're going to be working with knits, because if you've ever tried to sew knits on a sewing machine, you know you get that little bit of a wobble. But being able to set the dual feed to make the feed teeth in front move a little faster, it'll gather it as it goes. So by the time it comes past the needles, it's completely flat. So that's an example of what dual feed does. But you can also do it for effect. Like, have you seen the little girls' t-shirts and stuff with that curly little lettuce edge? That is done doing it the opposite way. Instead of doing a little bit of shrinking to prevent the ripples, we're slowing it down to make that knit stretch like crazy. And so when it comes out the other side, it's all curled up, which is super cute. But the dual feed it really is great for creating effects and protecting your fabrics as you go, so that by the time it passes the needle, you get the look that you want, rather than trying to figure it out beforehand. Some other nice features on the Pfaff Admire 1000 is it does have this nice little stitch gauge. So I can put my fabric in and decide my seam allowance. So I can set my seam allowance wherever I need it to be, and I can run my fabric right up against this little stitch guide. So I'm going to go ahead and take the stitch guide out completely so you can kind of see it. It has marks on it, which is very nice, and it just tucks right in there and it slides back and forth. Very, very convenient. Let me just pop that back in here. Okay. So it is a very, very easy machine to use.